turned to?
I didn't have any before coverage of the Hammond situation or the Bundys. I've been at work for like 20 years. And Oregon Public Broadcast is the only station in Hefner while I was shoeing horses. And so we were listening to it. And that's how I got involved. That was the only contact that I had.
So you heard the terrorists took over, as you were saying earlier, and took over the refuge, and you just simply wanted to go see for yourself, is this true, or
no,
oh my gosh, like I want to stop terrorism because you are a soldier and you want to protect me. Oh, that's what it was. So you wanted to go protect people from what they told you. The narrative was that there were terrorism.
It was on the radio, Oregon Public Broadcasting in Hefner, while I was shoeing horses with Shad Bishop. That's my horseshoer. Me and him hang out a lot. When he has too many horses to do, I go help him, or if he needs any welding done, I go do his welding. So we kind of trade back and forth. But that's what was put out on Oregon Public Broadcasting.
Now, somebody's asking here, how many years did he serve? Soldier first.
I served for 10.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like the beginning of awareness.
I'm a disabled vet.
A disabled veteran, served for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and you were in prison last year, incarcerated, before being given any due process, which your due process was extremely limited, as I witnessed.
They showed, I do a lot of medieval sword fighting.
Like SCA?
Like SCA.
Nice.
I joust, I sword fight, and they showed my sword fighting pictures from the SCA to convince the grand jury that I was dangerous.
Oh my God.
So play fighting, acting, sword fighting, acting.
Like role play.
With the SCA. Role play. And they showed that to the grand jury as evidence that you were a terrorist.
They showed it in my release hearing also, because I was hitting a guy in the head with a two-handed sword, and they showed that picture.
I'm sorry for laughing. It's kind of a travesty and ridiculous all at the same time.
It was totally ridiculous.
And that's why they held you against your will in that prison for how many months last year before trial?
I don't even remember. It was all a blur.
And
more than a year.
And finally, you did get a pre-trial release prior to trial.
I finally got a pre-trial release.
After how many attempts that you requested pre-trial release?
It was a few.
Several. And then you were finally released prior to trial, so you were able to attend your trial freely, which I witnessed. You on the ground freely attend. So you've been out for a few months, not even a full year.
So here we go.
And now you've been sentenced for 1 year.
And I go to prison.
And how do you feel about it? I mean, this is about the Hammonds. I get what we're doing down the West Coast, all the way to Lompoc prison where your captives are waiting for you. But how do you feel on your last 30 days when you've done time already? I mean,
I get to ride my horse.
You get to ride your horse. I mean,
a lot.
You're a very happy and wonderful man. You have a great outlook. Very strong, courageous.
I can't do anything about it, you know. But I could tell you that I'm not happy with going away for a year, and I'm not going to rely on a politician to get me out of jail.
Your experience, do you feel like due process was served to you at all?
No. I feel that we didn't get a fair trial. We weren't allowed to defend ourselves in court. We weren't.
With your lawyer.
I did. He looked at me square in the eye on my 3rd week, and he says, I want you to sign this piece of paper so I can go on vacation. And it was like a declaration of guilt.
Really?
And I'm like, you're fired, dude. But then he kept showing up to court for 5 months, getting paid after I fired him.
Wow. And then you were reassigned Michelle.
Yeah. And she's a fantastic lawyer.
And her last name,
Kohler.
Kohler, yes. Yeah. I want to make sure I got that right.
And she's a good person. Absolutely good person.
I did get to hear her speak and act as your representative in court. She was excellent. She
was excellent. And she tried every legal aspect, just like we tried every legal aspect at the refuge.
What was allowed, though? Was she limited in her capacity even to represent you? Was she given limitations?
Everything that she put forward was denied by the judge.
Everything.
Everything.
And it was a lot that
Now,
I
there was
saw
guys
everything tonight when I
shooting
finally witnessed.
at drones, and there was guys shooting at helicopters, and they walked off with probation. I dug a hole. I'm going to federal prison for a year. The reason why that happened was when they took a plea deal, we lost their witnesses in court.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when
It
people
was a
take
big
plea
chess
deals.
game.
Were you allowed to speak on your behalf, or did you even have an interest to speak on your behalf? On your own?
I had a chance to speak at one of my hearings, and I told everybody about being stripped naked at gunpoint and being thrown in the back of a black SUV and drove across the state at 100 miles an hour.
That sounds like a kidnapping.
What happened in court when you said those things, when you said the truth?
Now, keep in mind, Mike.
It's like a kidnapping out of
now,
a movie, man.
I was stripped naked at gunpoint once.
In the snow.
In the snow, released, and asked to go back to the refuge to talk people out, which I did. And I went back into the refuge, tried to de-escalate the situation, and upon my return to the checkpoint, I was gladly arrested, stripped again in the snow at gunpoint,
Oh my God.
and hauled across the
Below
state at
zero.
100 miles an hour.
Below zero, after Lavoy Finnecum's murder, I recall, and I
Yeah.
also recall that you succeeded in convincing a few people to get out of the refuge.
Well, they were my
had changed
friends.
their mind.
I was trying to save their life. I didn't want any bloodshed on either side of the fence. And the judge said that at my sentencing hearing. She said, Dwayne Emer, I know that you saved lives on the law enforcement side of the house and the people left at the refuge. You know, Sean, Sandy, Jeff, everybody.
And yet,
And
one
so,
year and 1 day.
Anyway.
was the term.
are we done, guys?
Yeah, man.
Good,
Yeah. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your.
So you think you're going to still pursue activism like this type of thing when you get out? Are you going to go right back in? Or
I
are you gonna
never
live your life?
pursued activism to start. I was a welder.
But the way people perceive you, since you did stand up and all that, you know, as somebody who does define myself as an activist, you know, you fit the bill, man. You know, if the shoe fits, you know.
Can you take pictures?
Of course.
I was a hood ornament for that horse down there.
You
That's
were
all I
ornament
was.
for a horse down there?
That's all I was. I'm nobody special. That's the thing, is I'm nobody special at all. You know, I'm just common. Or I wasn't special forces. I wasn't a ranger.
Smile.
I was
Can I
a
get a
scout,
picture?
and I was in the army, just like Steve Schallenberger down there. He was a scout. You know,
Thank you for your service.
and you know
What are you doing here?
I'm everywhere.
I've upset a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I got people crying.